Hey guys, it's me. Welcome Late Night on Base. Today on the podcast, we had Naomi, an Olympic athlete training for the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. I'm really excited for this episode because she's going to she is detailing her journey on chain, and she's become a very viral content creator. It's really an inspiration, actually, a big reason why I'm documenting my journey as a content creator. So you'll get to hear all about her story about, trying to make it to the 2028 Olympic Games, everything she's been through. So I think you will really find this episode interesting because I sure did. Let us know what you think about the episode down below. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Late Night on Base, a podcast where we go deep into the builders and the influencers and anyone just wanting to work on base and just in the crypto industry as general. Honored to have Naomi on the podcast. For those that don't know, she has an incredible story, training for the Olympics in Los Angeles in 2028 and documenting that through, some mints on Zora and stuff. So I'm very interested to know more. So, Naomi, how are you doing today?
I'm really good, thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited to get onto this podcast and talk about everything that I've been doing. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the podcast and I'm really big fan of bass. So yeah, really happy to dive in.
Amazing, and I think it's really unique to have someone like you on. I feel there's a huge bridge that can occur between the sports world, integrating sports into on-chain, whether it's through professional athletes like yourself or whether it's through branding from different, high-end sports clubs. Basically, the intersection between sports and on-chain Web3, it's there. It just needs to have a kickstart. So it needs innovators like yourself to kind of lead the way. So Naomi, maybe, for those coming on to Spotify listening to this for the first time or episode, maybe they're on YouTube and they're catching a glimpse as to what's going on. But they have no idea who you are. Naomi, if you don't mind, who is Naomi?
My name is Naomi Metzger, and I'm a triple jumper for Great Britain. I'm an 11 times British triple jumper. And I actually came into the Web3 space in like 2021, late 2021, because I lost my main sponsor and I heard about NFTs and I wanted to figure out how can I use basically on-chain to be able to fund my athletics journey. So yeah, in 2021, I made a project. I wore my NFT that I drew on my kit called Afro Chicks, and I just kind of became part of the community. But now I really want to, like you said, there's that intersection between sports and Web3. I really want to make that intersection. I want people to follow my journey from the beginning on chain as I document from now, 2024, until the LA Olympic Games.
Amazing. And have you participated in the actual Olympics or just training for it?
So I've been training for it for 10 years and I've missed out by the finest of margins.
Wow.
So in 2021, it was by 10 centimeters. And then this year I got the standard for it. But unfortunately, there was an injury. I had two injuries, two surgeries, and didn't have enough time. So this next one, I'm going to be 30 years old when it gets to that 2028 Olympics, which is like the peak age for triple jumping. So yeah, I really want to make a big statement there.
So 2028 is a big deal for you. This should
Yeah,
be your first Olympics, and you're documenting the whole thing. And people can, and we'll get into the whole, Zora mints and Dracula and all that stuff. But it's a big deal, and I know you mean it. You can tell it means a lot to you, and I think you doing something on chain for people to experience is just super cool. For those kind of curious, because it's not every day we get professional athletes on podcasts, not just on myself, but just on other podcasts that are in the on-chain Web3 space. What is it like training for to be the best of the best in whether it's track and field? What is it like for an athlete like yourself?
I'll definitely say it's intense. I train 6 times a week, basically from 9 till 3. That's like how my typical schedule looks. I train with Olympic medalists, world champions. It's a really like solid group, and we all just turn up at the track. We work hard, we do our gym, we practice and practice, just trying to get it right. And then we try and show up at competition and do everything that we've learned and hope that we'll win medals. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of sacrifice. And for a triple jumper, it's quite a niche event. It's quite hard because you don't have the same financial backing that say like the Noah Lyles sprinters get. So it's all about building that brand for yourself. So as soon as I'm off the track, it's like I'm straight online, like making content, working with brands, like just trying to being able to finance my dreams. But yeah, being on chain has definitely assisted with that as well.
Amazing. So let's circle back then on the on-chain experience. So here you are training, and this is not your first foray into crypto. You said in 2020, 2021, you got into the NFTs. Let's talk about that first. What was the experience like entering into, because that was at the peak of the bull market or around then. What was the experience like as a athlete in Web 2, quote unquote, coming into the industry on chain in the crypto world? What was that experience like?
I had a really positive experience. At first, I wasn't really telling people that I was an athlete, just because I noticed that there was people who weren't really doxed yet, and I didn't want that to influence the way that people sort of approached me. So I started off kind of anon, and I just created this Afro Chicks collection, and they started to sell. And then as they started to sell, I thought, actually, let me just like explain who I am. So I explained who I am, and I explained that I have some big competitions coming up. I had the World Championships, Commonwealth Games, and the European Championships all in that year. So it ended up with me being like this sort of anon like person just creating this artwork to suddenly my holders were coming to watch me at the World Championships in Oregon in 2022. And I was able to win a Commonwealth medal and shout out my holders like on TV after winning the medal,
Wow.
which was really cool. So it's been like a really positive experience. But when I got those injuries, it kind of just took a toll on me. And I was like, if I'm not winning medals, then what am I bringing to my holders? Like, how are they going to support me if I'm not bringing those medals and wearing this NFT on my kit? And that's when I realized that I need to start documenting the whole journey, the highs and the lows, because then no matter what happens, like people can still be part of the story. And that's kind of what I really want to get across.
Amazing. So now you shift. So you have this 2021, you have the foray into the crypto Web3 culture. You've established yourselves as you're progressing in your career. You've hit some setbacks with your injuries. It's kind of made you pivot to kind of thinking, what can I do now to bring that value back to my holders, but also do something unique and different. So now you're going into this documentation of your journey heading into 2028. Is that correct? The Olympic Games?
Yeah.
So what exactly how does it look like? Is it like a mint weekly? Is it like when you mean documenting it through a mint, what exactly does that mean?
Yeah, so I've already been doing it not on chain, but on Instagram from the start of the year. I was documenting my training sessions. I was getting my group involved, showing the behind the scenes, like exactly how our coach trains us, how the training camps look, the type of things we eat. And I was kind of showing that on Instagram, and the views were going like kind of crazy with it. And then I kind of thought, how cool would it be if I could do the same thing, but just make it on chain so that people can collect these moments. And then if I do jump the standard for the Olympic Games or get a medal at a European Championships, like people can collect that exact moment where it happened. So yeah, I want to be doing it on a weekly basis, just showing week by week everything that sort of has gone on and posting that directly on chain.
That sounds really cool. I think a lot of people love having access behind the scenes. I think that's super cool because 99.99% of the world can never be an Olympic athlete or train. It's just not in their cards. But to kind of see what it takes behind the scenes, and it kind of puts them, I guess, in the shoes of the athlete in a way. And that's so cool. And I think, you know, from my point of view, I think it'd be so cool. Like if you post once a week, because that way you don't want to overburden yourself and overburn it and have, I think in a weekly time frame, documenting your journey. And then there's so much info you can put in through that week of what you experienced. And it gives out really good content and people are going to be waiting for that mint. How many mints have you done so far in terms of like, or not how many mints people downloaded, but how many, I guess, moments have you done so far in this journey to 2028?
So far, I've only posted the first video, and that was just sort of an intro of the story so far in like a bit of a nutshell. Like it was kind of like a teaser of like what's happened and what's going to come. So the next video is going to be me documenting my last competition of this season, which is going to be in a few weeks. So yeah, I'm going to document that journey, and then from then on, I'm just going to show the journey and process of getting back into that training for the indoor season, and basically showing the competitions and the results as I go along.
Amazing. So tell me about your decision to use Dracula, right? That's where you put in your stuff. And obviously through Zora, that just by saying the name Dracula, I think people will be like, "Damn, this lady is Web3 native, crypto native," because literally nobody knows about that. I just discovered it. So, like, tell me about why Dracula, why not do OpenSea, but like, what was your thought process to choosing the platform that you did?
Well, I came across Dracula through Warpcast, which is basically what I've been document. Like I already on Warpcast, I've built a following of about 4,000
Wow.
people in like a
You
month.
need a I have 50, so please follow me.
Yeah,
I'm going to start taking that, so you're a big deal. I didn't even know that.
yeah.
Please follow me. Thank you.
So I've been posting like workout videos on there, and I was thinking, is there like a Web3 crypto equivalent of TikTok? And then I came across Alex and Dracula, and I just thought, yeah, this sounds good. And it kind of coincided with a program that I'm a part of, called Blueprint, by Bello Insights, and that basically gave like 10 creators a grant to help with our content and basically just show us how to go viral on chain with like amazing founders like Jesse coming on to our meetings and just giving us loads of advice. And then also Alex, the founder of Dracula, came onto that call. And again, it just reinforced like, yeah, this is who I'm going to go with because it's like the start of something new. And you seeing how TikToks blew up and that short form video, it just grabs people's attention. So I kind of want to do that. And when it was announced that it was linking with Zora, it made sense. Like these short form videos, it's in a natural way that people from my Web2 audience can still digest, but then people can also mint it as well. And yeah, my first mint's gone really well so far. So yeah, I'm just excited to carry on posting on there.
Yeah, and I think it's so cool because, you know, right now we're still early between integration between Web 2 and on-chain. They're separate crowds. It just is what it is. The people that are like the Instagram crowd, most of them aren't on-chain, nor do they care, but you still have that vertical to reach out to them, which is the majority of people. But then you have Web3 native apps like Dracula, you're on Farcaster, Warpcast, all that stuff. That's where that crowd is who may have never heard of you or anyone who's coming on to that site, but you grow your brand that way. So now you have your audience and your brand of people who like and want to watch your content. I mean, is now doubled or triple, whatever the case is, because you're choosing on-chain webs like that. I think it's super cool, and I think that kind of innovation is, in my opinion, needed to bring eyes and attention into that. Tell me about the Dracula. Did I read correctly? Like you're one of the top mints there.
Yeah, yeah, I'm trending number 1 on there.
How does it feel? That's a big deal. I'm excited for you. Tell me, what does that feel like?
Yeah, just really, really exciting. I mean, I've managed to go viral like in Web 2 before, but to do it in Web 3, like for it to be on chain, is like extra exciting because it's so many new wallets who've been exposed to like my content. And like you said, like people, Triple Jump's a really niche event. I do get that, but bringing more eyes to an event that people don't know about. Is really exciting. And off the back of the Paris Olympics, I think that people are just super excited just hearing about the Olympics. And what I really like about Dracula is that I'm gonna be posting my content there first. I'm gonna post it to Instagram second. So the people who are true fans of me, they're gonna have to go on Dracula. They're gonna have to come, on chain in order to see my content first. Because people with athletics, you want to see the results straight away.
Of course.
In order to do that, they're gonna have to come on chain. So I think it's a cool way to try and onboard my Web2 crowd to come here as well.
Yeah, and I think that's important. I think first of all, it's unique what you're doing, but in order for Jesse is an amazing individual who's on the podcast. Actually, we did a live podcast with him last week on Chain Summit. Super cool. But one of the big missions for Base, especially, is onboarding the next 1 billion, 2 billion users, right? And in order to do that, we have to figure out ways. How do we get the attention of the traditional world onto it? So I love what you're doing because you're doing just that. You're doing your part in bringing in your audience that has no crypto experience, nothing, but you're giving them a teaser of like, hey, come on chain, come to Zora, come to Dracula, learn about this because then you'll get to experience what I'm doing firsthand. And that's your part onboarding it. So I applaud you for that. Let me ask you this: What would you well, first of all, it's kind of curious to know, like you've gone viral on both platforms, and that's incredible. What would you give maybe content creators some advice as to what tips you would have for them to go viral, say on both platforms? Any suggestions?
I think it's definitely study what other people are doing. What's really awesome about crypto is that there's literally everything's got, it's been recorded. So you can see who's collected what, you can see who are the people who are minting this? Like, where are they? Why are they minting this? And then also looking at the people who are successful and what is it that they're posting about? What is it that people want to see, and what's missing, and what can I give to sort of add value to the space? And for me, when I came onto Warpcast, it was like, okay, I know I'm an athlete. I can share my stories about being an athlete, but then what can I give? And I thought workouts. So every single day, I'm posting like a short 20-second workouts with 5 exercises, and then that's just like increased my following. Like I can't, I don't know the percentage, but I've been like the number one
Right.
trending on Warpcast for like a few days. And I think that's just bringing more eyes to the mint. So because I'm adding value to the space, then I can be like, hey guys, also I'm an athlete and this is what I'm making. If you want to mint it, if you want to collect it, be part of the story, and then make people feel involved in that, but making sure that I provide something for them as well.
Yeah, I think the key is value. Giving out value is important without any expectation. Like you doing those workout videos, I think is amazing because people are just going to be interested in what a professional athlete has to do every day to work out to prepare for whether it's the 2028 games or whether it's for some like regional final or something of that nature. So I think that makes sense. And then once you draw them in, you're consistent, you actually love it, and then you build a low following. I think to any content creators, that's what you have to do. Same with my podcast. I just want to give value and basically give a platform for people like yourself to tell a story. I just want people to hear and understand the passion of other founders and builders. And I'm not expecting anything in return. And then, the things I'll end up doing, whether it's, advisory, stuff like that, that'll come, then you bring people in. And if they want more of your expertise, that stuff happens later. So I think that's really good advice. What's next for you? And so Olympic Games not till 2028. Give your fans, since you're on the late night, give us some alpha. What does the rest of this year look like in 2025 for Naomi?
So the rest of this year is just going to be me just getting into the best shape of my life. As I said, I've had this injury, so now it's like all for the rest of this year. I'm just going to be training hard, making sure that I can just be in the best possible place for the indoor championships. So there's going to be a world indoor championships in China. That'll be like in March. And then there's also a world outdoor championships in Tokyo in Japan, which is really cool. I'd love for by the time it gets to that in September next year, like what I have in my mind is for holders, to do like some sort of giveaway or like the top holders. I haven't really thought it all through, but for them to get tickets and flights to be able to come and watch me at that championships. I want to be able to give that sort of like utility, I guess, to the people who hold this journey. So that's kind of the vision I have. That's the alpha. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That's like fingers crossed everything works out.
That's super cool. What age did you decide when you were a child, or what age did you realize, I want to pursue my Olympic dream?
It was when I was 16, like, I only started triple jump pretty late at 15. In my first year, I broke the British under 17 record, and I was like, "Wait, I've just improved 3 meters in, like, a few months of training. What else can I achieve?" And I just always thought big, when it came to the Olympics. It's just the dream that everyone has, and every single time that I've been pushed back, it's just made me want it more. Like, sometimes people are like, "Naomi, you've missed out on 2, you were so close, like, does that not make you wanna give up?" But I'm like, no, it just makes me want to try harder because I know that I was good enough to be there in Paris. I know that I was good enough to be there in Tokyo. But now it's like I'm ready to like medal next time I'm there, and I know that it's possible. So I just have that belief that I'm gonna make it happen.
I love it. If you don't believe in yourself, how can you will accomplish nothing in this world. You have to believe. There's so many doubters out there. It's easy to let doubt hinder you from achieving your dreams and not even starting. So kudos to you saying, forget that. I believe in myself. Lastly, I want to know, it is late night on base. What do you like about base overall as an ecosystem?
I think I just like the vibes of bass. Like first and foremost, I just love the energy. It's so different to when I first joined the space a few years ago. I also love how easy it is. Just the really low transaction fees. I remember in the past like wanting to mint an NFT and then the gas fees are like hundreds of dollars, and I'm like, I can't do this. But now everything's just so seamless, so easy. And then I feel like Jesse has just brought a really, it's almost like a professional feel, in the best way possible. Like everything's cohesive, it all makes sense. Everything's clear. The language is clear, and I think it's just making it like I think that the billion users that or whatever the number is going to come here because it just makes sense, and I love how it's starting to integrate into real life with the coffee initiatives that we're seeing. Yeah, I think it's just gonna. This is a really good thing for the space, and I'm just really excited to see how it's gonna onboard more people.
Yeah, the community vibes on base is second to none. I've been a part of crypto for a long, long time.
Mm.
I've been a part of many chains, different projects. It's always PvP, player versus player on other chains. It's not a cohesive group. I mean, there's pockets of different projects, but like overall, the chain, everyone helping each other, it's only on base. And like I say to many people, it starts with Jesse at top. He leads the way. He shows us he cares about it. He's the man who has created the vision for us to follow. Naomi, anything you want to say? Last thoughts to your viewers, to your fans, to your whether they're in Web 2, whether they just found you on a mint. Any last words?
I'll just say that please follow me, follow the journey. I really want everyone to be a part of it from the beginning because I feel like the story is going to be best if you're here from the start. So yeah, my socials is AfroChicks on Warpcast, AfroChicks NFT on Twitter. Yeah, just be sure to follow me on there, and I'll keep you all updated with everything I've got going on. But yeah,
Na
thank you,
Naomi, thank you so much.
thank you so much for having me.
Everyone, if you're watching this on or listening to this on Spotify, head over to YouTube. On YouTube, we're gonna have Naomi's links to her mint, link to her Warpcast, and also to her Twitter, her X. Also, Late on Bases, us will be our info will be on there as well. If you haven't followed us and liked it, please do. It's literally free and it helps us grow our content. Until next time, everyone, take care.